So, good morning, all, and thank you for your time for attending this session early in the morning when it is like too cold. Okay, fine. So, I think today we started in, I would not say standard model, but I would say in agile format we started. We were trying to go in a standard format like I'll first, as a whole, as a I would say the person who is going to host the session, but on the last moment we change it. Okay, so I think now the generation has come. Like we need to be quick, we need to be adaptive. Okay, and similarly, like when we are working in our day-to-day activities, I think all of us we have around 10 plus years of experience, and most of us we are working on some or the other kind of engagements. So here, most of us, you would have been a challenge facing, like how to transform my existing waterfall model, or maybe V model, or Big Bang model, or any kind of a project into agile. Because nowadays there is a trend of agile since last 2001. So in 2001, agile was born, I would say, and people were people they came together and they started investing. Okay, how to make things better, and it was a year when it was evolved that we should follow agile. So now for this topic, I have changed the name, like transform your project approach. Okay, can you go to next slide, Santosh?
Yeah, Mangala, going. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so agenda for now is like I will be completing. I'll be going to take these four agendas, like four topics in it. One is project management. One is what is the problem statement. What and how is the agile? So everybody has you heard the word agile, Scrum, Kanban, etc., etc. Okay, and many of you have either gone for certification. Few of them are certified, but question is how to work. Okay, because we have read so many things, but when it comes to implementation, we see many challenges are there. So we'll talk on this topic as well. And then in the last, I would say what are the agile benefits. I think most of us have read it, but in this session, I will be sharing with you my hands-on experience with you. Okay, next slide. Okay, thanks. So I think this is a very common topic. Okay, project life cycle phases. So in this slide, so can anybody tell what exactly we do in project initiation? I know this is very common, but still, in order to make it interactive, I thought like let us start this topic first. What is project life cycle?
So you can unmute and speak, maybe if you are.
Yeah.
Project
Project
life
is
cycle is basically SDLC kind of thing where you start with a planning or designing, and from there to till its a delivery.
Okay. So what is there in project initiation? So this is the first step, I would say. So what is there in initiation?
Resource
What?
allocation, team mobilization, and
It will be not in initiation. It will be in planning. That is
okay.
the planning. Okay.
The stakeholders meeting, we
Yeah.
will have a stakeholders meeting. We'll have
Correct. Correct. So try to
all teams
identify.
kickoff meeting. Yeah.
Correct. Yes. So it will be identifying project scope basically. Okay. So what is the project scope? What is the goal? What are the constraints? What will be the workflow? Okay. What will be my strategies? Okay. And what I am going to deliver to the client at the end of it. So all things we will initiate in this. Okay. And then also we will think, okay, what will be the budget allocated for this project, and when and how we have to complete this. Okay, so this is a project initiation. So we will gather all this information. in this phase. Okay, so it is an initiation. So we are going to initiate all these thoughts over here in some meeting maybe, and we will discuss and we'll draft a document, and then project manager etc., they will be identified who will be covering all these aspects. Okay, so in project planning, okay, this particular phase, I would say project manager, senior stakeholders, they all come on one place. Okay, they try to identify what is the project scope, okay, what is the budget, and by when we have to complete, and what are the do's don'ts, okay, we should do in the project. All are with me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, guys, let us make this session interactive. I know these are all basics which we have learned in our maybe college or maybe initially when we have entered this IT industry. Okay. Next is project planning. So, obviously, as someone said now, resource planning. Okay. So, what else we will do in this?
So all kind of goal setting, right? For example, the project plan and all, everything would be part of this project planning.
Okay. So, any specific thing apart from resource you want to mention?
The creation of a project plan, right? The Gantt chart,
Correct.
the
Correct.
timeline, everything would be coming under this. Yeah.
Yeah. So this specifically phase, I would say it begins with the uh, terminology SMART. Okay. SMART means specific. S. M means we are going to measure it. Okay. A means attainable. R means realistic. And last T means timely. Okay. Specific. S for specific. M for measurable. A for attainable. R for realistic. And last is T for timely goals. So we are going to set up a SMART goal for us. Okay, and in order to have this scope like
We
to be
should have
planned in a
OKRs
well manner, yes,
and
exactly, correct.
clear goals as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and also risk and issues, identifying them. Okay, very important thing. We need to, as a project manager, we have to set up a milestone. We have to also see there is a risk management plan in place and a work breakdown structure for our work. So these are the important things in a project planning. Okay, next is execution. Anybody want to give a try?
Like it will give the team execution where they need to focus on achieving objectives, right?
Correct.
Launching the
Mm.
project, right? Within
Yeah.
the time frame. So
Yeah.
all kind of cadence setup, right?
Correct. Yeah. So we are
Okay.
going to do a key performance indicator. We are going to use the key performance indicator. We are going to execute the project plan. Okay. And also in the while execution, so if there are any hiccups, okay. So like for example, they want to buy some Kubernetes, people don't have access to Kubernetes, then maybe go to the procurement team and try to get the access for it. Okay, buy it. Maybe if somebody is asking, okay, I have a 8 GB RAM, I need a 16 GB RAM, so we can go and do that activity as well. We'll track, monitor overall what is going on in project execution. Okay, so in order to make sure that we are not slipping anywhere in terms of budget. Also in phase wise, if we are not able to complete the project on time, or we are there, or we need somebody else, or we are blocked somewhere, so all these things we are going to watch it. So project execution phase. Okay, next is project monitor and control. For this, I think we will be setting up a key performance metrics. So there will be metrics. Okay, maybe in terms of you can say we are going to see the monitoring and controlling of the project phase is very important to make sure that the execution goes in a planned manner in terms of schedule, scope, and the timelines. And very important, budget.
And whether it is matching the initial project objectives,
Yes,
right? And whether
exactly,
they
exactly,
keep of
exactly.
all based on the all the KPIs and how it
Correct.
goes to the stakeholder. Uh, uh, what do we call stakeholder management? Communication to stakeholder also
Yeah,
is right.
like
Whether ROI
yes,
is
that like
meeting or
M
not.
review, correct, like
Yeah.
M review, weekly meetings, etc. There you go. Okay, next is project closure, very important phase. Okay, so I would like others also to unmute and just express what do you understand by project closure. I'm sure like everybody must have done like so many activities in their career, so they must have come across this phase, important milestone of the project. Santosh, do you want to give a try?
Yeah, sure. Actually, all the documents which are related to summary, closure summary,
Hmm.
what all are the deliverables we are delivered.
Correct.
Then internally, there will be a kind of root cause analysis, what went well, what went wrong. So all this stuff. So which is internal, not with the client.
Hmm.
And from closure point of view, also the variances, all the metrics related to variances,
Hmm.
the budget and all everything at the end. So that is a report kind of thing which we
Okay.
can.
Anyone else who want to give a try? Project closing phase. This is a very important phase.
It should have a kind of postmortem, doing the postmortem after
Correct.
after all
Correct.
the project delivery. So it should have all kind of quick recap. We can say, right,
Hmm.
project recap.
Yeah.
Then what outcome, whether it met our ROI, all those
Correct.
things will be coming in this phase. Whether the deadline has been met, the cost involved,
Hmm.
the revenue part, everything would be coming under this to have whether
Yeah.
we have met our deadlines, targets, everything. Yeah.
Okay.
And
And
Mangala, all the release
yeah.
resource, whatever the resource we have, assigned, right? We need to ensure that those have been released from our project code.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, and
Correct. Yeah.
so all those things we need to take care of. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
But
think
will
so.
it come in the
Uh,
project closer part? This resource part won't come, right? So,
no, no, project closure phase. So everything is part of it, I would say.
okay.
Everything. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll just summarize in a like I'll hit all the points by mentioned all of you. Okay. We've said that during project closures, for example, I have to complete one small activity. Okay. Maybe there eight FTs were involved. Okay, and that was a small engagement of around a small stream it was, and around 800 days activities was there it. And after a project closure, when we completed the project, okay, definitely at the end what we will complete is like we all spoke from project management perspective. Okay, very important thing which we did not cover in our this I would say call is that what we are going to close at client end, that is something also we need to mention in a project closure. Okay, so maybe a user manual, very important, which we have to hand it over once the project closure is done. Okay, we have to also hand over the list, like what was planned in the project initiation phase, the first phase. Okay, and what we have done at the end of it. Okay, then entire checklist of what we have done. So maybe initially we have promised that we will 5 items, but today after maybe a period of 3 months, you might have done 10 activities. Okay, so you have to call out all those things. You guys, I will say, as a project manager, we are doing n number of activities, but we don't try to expose it, or maybe we don't try to tell customer, okay, we have not done only 5, but we have done more than that. That is something we need to call out. Okay, that is very important. Then from if we have done any relate any activity which was not there in the project scope, but during project execution it was added, got added. Okay, so typically in waterfall model, I would say it is a study, requirements are study, it is going in a smooth manner, but all of a sudden then somebody says, okay, I need to check whether 1000 user can access it in peak hours my application, then what will happen to it. Okay, so then this was not there, but definitely it is a need of the application. So you will not say, I'm not going to execute all these things. You will say, okay, we will add on some jmeter activities or performance related activities, and we'll do it. Okay, we have done it, okay, within the scope, but we have to call it out. So during project closure, we will be handing over to client user manual, and also the list of the items which we have delivered to them. Okay, entire list of it. Second thing is, when it comes to resourcing, then from resourcing perspective, how many resources you have released out of 8? Suppose you have started the project, and in entire your project life cycle you had only 8 people, then all 8 are you releasing, or you will keep one person for the am related activity? Because during this phase, if customer says, okay, I want one person to look after it when it goes live, or if there are some additional activities when it will come in case, so we have to also discuss about this feature. Okay, obviously budget very important, whether we have done within the
We
budget
usually keep
or
some resource for hypercare, right? So
sorry.
we usually keep some resources for hypercare
Yeah, but it
post
has
go
to be
live.
it has to be agreed with client whether they are going to pay for it or not.
Hypercare they don't pay. It usually comes in the bundle, right? So we have to give the hypercare for 1 month post go live.
Yeah, but it has to be again agreed in the initial phase.
Okay.
Okay, because not all the engagement follow this activity in this particular manner. Sometimes what happens, your client will say, okay, you do the development, you complete the project and you hand it over to me, and I will assign my team who will take care of it. It can happen that way also. Okay, so it has to be a mutual agreement. Obviously, as you said, if you have an agreement where you are saying hypercare will be taken by us for next 1 month, yes, it is there in agreement. If client is saying, okay, I don't want anyone, you just hand it over to me. Okay, then they will assign their one person from their own side, and who will take it ahead, or it can be a mutual agreement. Okay, you give me some one person, he will be there for 3 months, 6 months, who will be identifying if there are any change requests, then we will assign that person and we'll get it completed and closed. Okay, and I think very important thing which you guys have said, like postmortem. So definitely we have to do postmortem, like was there any variance, then RCA for the activities, and what went well, and what we missed, very important. So this is something very important activities which we will do in a project closure, because all of us, we are working in a typical IT industry, so we normally talk about ourselves, we don't talk about client side. Okay, so we have to now change this mindset, so we have to consider in terms of all, us and client. Fine, I hope
Yeah.
all of
So,
us are with me.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, great. Thanks, Mangala. Um, so, what I'm hearing from you is like this is the typical challenges that uh, we face in the regular typical project. And
Yeah.
now I'm just looking at like how this the transformation of the this waterfall model transforming that to agile is going to solve. So that's the question
Yes.
is going on in my
Yeah.
mind, and you are going to say that like this is the problem statement that you have, and you are
Hmm.
going to say and how you solve that through agile is what my
Correct.
understanding. Correct, Mangala?
Correct. 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 In our
Oh,
upcoming slides, we will be there. How it
okay,
works.
great. Okay,
Okay.
thanks, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Santosh, can you please go to next slide? Yeah. So now I would say, now we have in last slide, we have discussed all. So this is a summarize, summarization of it. Okay. Typically when it is in a waterfall model, in waterfall model, we plan something like this, very straight. Okay. Everything is there in front of your eyes. Okay. We have a very good bicycle. It will take you to the steep height. Okay. And you will reach the goal. Okay. But when actually it starts, We don't know how many valleys are there, how many how many flags are there, how many milestones are there, what we have to achieve, and all of a sudden what will come up. Okay, for example, here you can see the path earlier, it was very straightforward. Okay, and when it comes in reality, you can see there are many flags are there. So you have to achieve really these flags, you have to reach to them, but in order to reach them, there are many valleys are there. Okay, in some valleys they are very deep, and and maybe in the end you can see all of a sudden it is going to, you can see unexpected things also. So I think most of us, we would have faced this typical problem statement when we were working in any kind of activity, any kind of a project, any kind of a work, right? Till now, maybe it
Yeah,
can be
so these
agile
are
also.
the
Yeah,
regular challenges. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, typical challenges. Yeah, regular challenges, and not you have covered few things, but there are many other challenges. The
yeah, yeah,
waterfall, right?
yeah,
So given this is the problem, so now I'm just looking at what is the size of the team that you have, and how did you started this agile transformation, and
yeah,
the flow of it is what I'm really interested to
yeah,
know. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. I think the answer is there in next slide. So Santosh, can you just move to next slide? Yeah. Okay, so now when we say agile approach, so what exactly we are going to do it and how to work on this? Okay, so these are the very important key elements which I have tried to gather together based upon my experience. Okay, so here we can see people, training and education, selecting the right tool. Okay, the next is clear objective, clear retrospective, clear role definitions. What is a DOR, DOD, and most important, communication plan. So in order to make your agile or maybe your agile scrum work successfully, so these are the very important elements. So I would say when I started one of the stream in my organization, so most important is people. Okay, people are the one who is going to run in scrum. They are going to work it, and at the end of the project, what we see, it is all made by people only. Okay, so people
Yeah,
are
so
very
sorry to
important key
interrupt.
elements. Yeah.
There are new people also in this call. I know your team, but can you just tell like what is the size of your overall team, the
Okay.
volume of people that you're handling?
Yeah, so overall team size which I have handled till now is 200 plus. Okay,
Hmm.
and let me tell you that when we go to scrum. Okay, so I have handled at least 6 to 7 scrum teams till now.
No.
Okay,
Okay,
and
and
scrum
they are
team
in
size.
different geographical
Yes,
locations,
geography.
right?
Yes, different geographies. So these people, what I say, okay, this element is very important. Okay, I'm going to elaborate on this. So let me tell you my experience. So I had a distributed team. Okay, it was there all in the India, pan India, like six areas of India, like one, I would say Mumbai, Kolkata, Pune, Bangalore, Hyderabad. Okay, so these are various places where my team member used to sit, and also at onshore. Okay, I would not call out any specific onshore over here, but there was one set of team at onshore as well. Okay, so different geographies, the constraint is like they each one of them have a different constraint, maybe in culture, maybe understanding what we are trying to say, and most important is when we are working in a hybrid model. Okay, so you don't know what people are really at, and what is their problem, and how to get all together in one place and make them work. That is very important challenge. Okay, so I'll tell you also one more thing, that people, when you try to put it them in agile, there is a lot of I would say people hesitate. People say like, I had to form one team recently. So they were working in Kanban for 2 years, and suddenly when I told them, now you will be part of so and so stream, and you have to follow agile. So initially he said, okay, agile is good, we heard. But when they started the project, like first two streams, first two sprints, they are not there. They are saying literally, this is very stressful, we don't want to work at all. Okay, then we have to literally talk to each one of them and explain them, this is an initial phase, slowly you will adapt it. Okay, you will learn it. So I remember there was one person, she came to me and she said, it is very stressful. I cannot work. I feel like within 2 months, I will not be there in this organization also. Okay. And she was of that. And then she started talking to other people also. So people are very important. Again, so as a manager, as a scrum master, okay, as an engagement manager, what we did, my scrum master and myself, we used to talk to each and every person, like how was their experience of the sprint, okay, what was their observation and what didn't went well. Obviously at sprint level also we did took a joint call, okay, to see what went well and what did not went well. But talking to individual person makes a difference, I would say. They can open up very well to you. And then they told what was not working. So problem here was they did not understood the functionality at all, because they were always buzzed into coding. That was the root cause of it. And what we ultimately planned is that if we have a sprint of 2 weeks, then let us give them some time. Okay, let us stop them from working coding. Okay, so what we planned is that on sprint planning day, so we have clearly identified as day one as a sprint planning day, where nobody is going to do any coding. Even if their previous sprint activities are to be completed, no one is going to touch the code. Okay, they will literally shut down all the Eclipse and all whatever editor they have, and they have to literally go into a functional analysis, read the analysis. Okay, read the analysis first half of the day. Second half of the day, they have to come up with the approach. And during project planning, when actually your project, I would say business analyst or your PO is going to explain the functionality, they have to participate. This participation was not there, and that is the reason they used to feel they are lost. It is a stressful environment. And then we literally we have put them, all of them, in virtual room. And people at Mumbai, like there are around 7 8 people, so we try to put this 7 8 people in one room for whole day. Okay, let them talk to each other and let them interact. So at the end of the sprint planning session, I literally went to them and then asked them, so how was your experience? So I was amazed to see that all are smiling at each other, and they're saying literally, today was the day we understood this project for the first time. Okay, and this has to happen because I think we are working more than 12 hours sometimes in this sprint. So this happened sprint 0, sprint 1, sprint 2, they were working literally more than 8 hours a day because they did not
Yeah,
understood the functionality.
definitely. Like Syed,
Huh.
Syed must be Syed in this group, right? Syed, you are there. So if you can ask Syed, like he works like too extensive time. That's the challenge that he is facing, though he is taking care of that, right, Syed? I think he's in the mute. So,
Yeah.
Mangala, so one
Yeah.
thing, what I'm, in addition to the problems, what you said, no, there are
Hmm.
problems there are some things from client side also. Like
Yeah, so
client,
client, exactly.
they don't matter. Like give importance to what methodology you follow. This is what the deliverable you do it. And
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
not mind whether your team is spending weekends or holidays, but this is what it's like more on controlling because they have their own commitments and all that, right? So,
Hmm.
so what I'm wanted to hear is like typically like everybody here in this group, we are all experienced to that, and this is what the
Hmm.
day in day out the challenges that we are facing it. So,
Hmm.
I what I'm looking at is this transformation what you did
Yeah.
it should be done like a project, like the face to face, right?
Hmm.
So starting from initiating that as a project
Hmm.
and then doing some planning and then
Hmm.
educating the client and educating the team like that
Hmm.
only when you do that way then only we can
Hmm.
succeed as a complete agile transformation, correct?
Correct.
So
Correct.
Yeah.
I
Correct.
want to hear from you like I want to so what I'm really looking for is really it's not easy from
Hmm.
whatever the model they are following and then completing transforming that along with that producing the result, that is the key.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
produce the result and transform it and then say okay I have transformed it, nobody will like it. No, they will say in one
Hmm.
week let's go back to the original state, it's not working, fine, this is not working and let's
Hmm.
do this.
Yeah,
So
to
I want to hear.
Suresh.
What I'm interested to do is, because this is the challenge which I'm facing now in my project,
Mm. Mm.
and I'm not able to convince the client because I myself have not seen a successfully implemented project. So,
Mm.
so if you
Yeah.
can tell us like how did you
Highlight
do
on that.
that, then
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah. So,
guys, this is a very important thing for you also, and so don't stop yourself asking question. Make this interactive learning, because we don't want to like watch like a TV. Okay, somebody speaking and listening, so your time will be wasted because
Yeah, here's my
morning you
you were
joined and
calling.
1.5 hours, right? So keep opening up, and then whether it is correct or not, don't worry about that, right? I mean, even I have asked many silly questions also, but just keep talking, right? So that Mangala also will be interested to share that knowledge. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Suresh, you were asking me, but my phone got stuck, so I was unable to unmute.
So what? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I know that like you are spending too much time in your project, right, Syed?
yeah,
Like you said that from morning to night till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, you guys are working.
yeah.
So this is not only for you. Like many of the team members in my projects also, they work, right? Because we have no
Mm.
idea. I mean, they have deliverables and we have commitments, and leadership team also saying that okay, let's go with this, what to do and all that. So that's what I wanted to highlight, Side. Like, um,
Yeah, when the team doesn't have I mean, see, what happens that any
hmm,
initiation comes in, any funding comes in to implement any of the functionality or features in any product. So what happens? The leadership team, what they do basically, they set a deadline. Okay, this is the go live date, and just by giving the go live date and these are the functionalities or features to be implemented in that product, right? They That kind of instructions is usually very exhaustive for all the team members, right? You don't know, you don't have a velocity planned, you don't know what is the team velocity, you don't know what are the deliverables, actual deliverables. You just have a one requirement, that high level feature or high level functionality with you, which you need to implement within 1 month or 2 months. So the mindset of the leadership is again the waterfall only. They have a specific deadline, is the goal. It should not happen like that. So that kind of challenge here the team is facing. That makes the team exhaustive, right? You because
Yeah. Sayed.
yeah.
Sayed, I understand that. So, okay, for example, if you would have been client, for example, you will also expect same thing. Okay. So, here comes the role, very important role of a project manager or maybe engagement manager or maybe a account leader who is driving it.
Mhm.
Okay. So, for example, let me tell you, in my case, we had an example like we have to follow one new uh, architect architecture where team was not used to it. Okay, I'll tell you what was challenges in my case. Okay, and all of a sudden we have to form a team of 10 member team. Okay, and it was a mix of it, like two technical leads, okay, two senior developers, and maybe two maybe developers who have experience of around 3 years at least, and maybe two people who are just new to the industry, kind of a thing. So it was a mix of all, and unfortunately, I would say, or fortunately, what happened that I didn't get any of them. I just got one technical lead, and you will not believe there are 8 freshers in my team. Okay, typically when you talk about agile, they say that you should have experienced developer requirement. Okay,
Yeah.
here I did not find any developer, and we have to complete this project in 3 months because there is some timeline, there is some budget approved, and we have to complete it. And once we complete within the last, it was for last year, so then only we will get the remaining funds. Okay, and on top of that, when I tried to solve this, and uh, I would say I just got four. I started the project with 4 people. Okay, and those 4 people, when they used to literally struggle, okay, to write a code, to understand it. The whole 1 month architect was explaining them how to write it, what not to do, what to do. There was no coding checklist, there was no code review template, there was no m review template, nothing. Mr template was missing, so everything was missing over there. Okay, so as a engagement manager, we made sure that all these basics, DOR, okay, it is in place. Okay, for example, I'll tell you one real life example. Suppose somebody told you some guests are coming, okay, at home, and you have to make maybe a food, okay, a special food. So what exactly is required for that? You need the ingredients in place, right ingredient in place. Okay, that is what is the role of an engagement manager, to find out what is the real ingredient is required to make this project complete and successful on time. So as an engagement manager, I saw that this checklist, coding guidelines, okay, then code review, etc. This has to be in place, first place. People should understand what is to be done, what is required, and wherever they are facing any challenges, my job is, or Scrum Master job is, to clear that impediments, that itself. And I understood also from talking to client that they have to this whatever code we have to write, it has to be JMeter, and it has to be performance testing to be carried out for it. Okay, so this was not at all there in the scope, but I took an, I would say, proactive approach. I spoke to the PO, the onshore engagement manager, and he told me, okay, you have to do this also, this also, this also, not a problem. Then what I told to them internally, to my senior managers, ki boss, I have started this project with 5 people, and all of them are senior, only one technical lead is there. So I don't know, at any cost, give me some senior developer from the other team who can actually drive this whole. He should be an enabler kind of a person. So we need to identify who are the enablers, who are the key people. We need to get them in place. And at the same time, we need to keep your client, your onshore counterpart educated, well educated. You should be keeping the status transparent to them, where them, and whatever problems they have, you just hear them out and try to act on it on the immediate basis. That will solve all your problem. Because if you just wait for your weekly calls to happen or your monthly calls to happen, then your boss, there is no need of this call itself. Anyways, you're going to not complete. So
Uh,
daily connect with your onshore counterpart is very important as an EM.
Mangala,
Correct. Yeah. Daily Scrum call is very, I mean, it's essential.
I would not say Scrum call. I would say engagement connect with the onshore counterpart.
Mangala and Suresh, I just want
Yeah.
to share my experience on the agile transformation.
Yeah.
Just let me know once you
Yeah.
done. Or if you want to go ahead, I will also go ahead now.
Yeah, sure, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. So on the agile transformation, which I have earlier waterfall methodologies to agile, right? So when
Yeah.
we transformed to agile in my earlier project, which is an Australian project, there it's a pure agile with the 8 to 9 resources we ran with it, and on the business clarification, that's purely a development and enhancement project wherein the clarification is required from the business side. Attached people from the customer side is on the product owner. Of course, there'll be product owner, and from our side, the Scrum Master will be there. And there also we have some Scrum Masters. But the business underneath, whatever the clarification that is required, they are expecting from nested business owners, which are available in the across the account, across the bank account. So they are attached with their schedules and all those things, but they are not attached with our schedule. Agile,
Right. Correct.
agile schedule. So agile, we have sprint planning for two weeks.
Sorry, I
Hmm.
didn't get that agile schedule. Could you please help to elaborate more on this?
Yeah, sprint planning. Right? So we have sprint right for 2 weeks, right, or 3 weeks.
Hmm. Hmm.
In some cases, we have 2 weeks of duration for each sprint, right? Within it, within this 2 weeks of iteration, we need to complete a story point, right? So that story point, if you want to complete a development with unit testing, we need to have some clarity on the requirement and we need to get it cleared. So
Okay.
obviously we will depend on the customer.
Mm.
Customer in turn will depend on their business
Yeah.
analyst, business
And
owner.
all will,
They
yeah,
have to
and all
run
will
the,
say, yeah,
they'll
all
take
will
the
say, I
ticket.
don't have time. I'm very
Yeah,
busy.
yeah. They have to run the ticket and all
Typical
those things.
answer.
They have their
Yeah.
own schedules and sort of thing.
Mm.
They will run around that. So
Yeah.
even a business, I mean, even a client couldn't get
Correct.
clarity from them.
Yeah.
So that's a challenge, and because of that, the stories, whatever we have, right, that
Okay.
uh,
Yeah. Fine.
so carry over to
Okay.
next iteration.
So
So,
did.
but we need to retain the resource with the ample of story point within the planned days for the 8
Mm.
resources. We need to feed in. Only then we'll have
Yeah.
we don't have a billability issue, right?
Yeah.
Marketing
Yeah.
and sort of things and all.
Yeah. So
If the
I'll tell
process
you.
is,
I'll
yeah.
tell you answer for this.
So no, no.
Okay. Huh?
Let me come back on this.
Complete.
So
Okay.
this was my 6 or 7 years back experience, and
Hmm.
now I'm into Safe Agile project again for
Huh.
different client, US client, wherein all this have been addressed. I felt it actually, my experience. I'm just
Hmm.
sharing my experiences. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So the thing is on the Safe Agile, right? Customer is also binded to that.
Correct. Absolutely
Customer is
correct. Yes.
also binded to that, and the structure what we have on the Agile Scrum team, uh, as a vendor we have the same, that this structure we have RTE, and
Hmm.
above and above there is an objective given to entire team, right, and those have been planned, and for initial, so we have four in a year we have four PI, that means program increment.
Hmm.
Okay. So four PIs, each PI will have a six iterations.
Hmm.
So each PI will have 3 months. Okay. So before each PI, right, during this PI itself, iteration zero, we can say, we'll have a big room planning. What do we call as BRP? So we'll discuss with. So everyone will involve during this big room planning. Customer, business analyst, the entire Safe Agile team from customer side, from vendor side. There is another vendor as well. They will also involve requirement clarity and story pointing. All those things will be worked out, and all those things will be ready. Certain things will be done. What are the things confirmed one? So we will be doing it previously also, and we'll make it ready for the big room planning. So at most of the clarity would have been given. Of course, the team have experience also. All those things, it's been carried out during the BRP, and later each iteration planning. So we have uh, so uh, we have a committee of story points, right? Each would have been pulled to each iteration, distributed to each iteration. And when the iteration comes into picture, we will have iteration planning also, whether this can be achievable, whether this has to be prioritized, this can be moved to other thing. Those things, it will happen iteratively. During the BRP also, it will have iterative, it will be done, and during the each iteration plan, it will be done. So the iteration planning, everything will be done, which is the confined one, which we are going to take care of during this 2 weeks of iteration. Iteration is nothing but, we'll call it in Safe Agile sprint, right? We'll call it as iteration in the Safe Agile. Okay, so each iteration will have 2 weeks of time, so that 6 iterations we have, which has been planned within this 3 months PA. So this execution objective, each PI will have an objective which will roll up to the overall PI for an year, four PIs, and which will complete a very big functionality. So this has been accustomed with the other vendor involvement with the customer. They will also they will have some development team, and we'll have a separate development team. Each will have their own objective teams. So the roll-up point of view will be done, and the integration will be done, right? Integration will be done, which will meet a big, I mean, objective. The functional objective will meet. So, so if we go on by this way, right, we'll have there is no requirement challenges, but earlier we have a requirement challenges. So the involvement from the customer is also very important. So which we have transformed based on this safe agile. So here also we have transformed from waterfall methodology to agile to safe agile. Agile we have faced the same way here also. Once it is transformed to safe agile, we don't have that sort of issue, clarity issue. So a lot of confusion happened. So we can, I mean, our senior management or ourselves can bring them right on the safe agile, clarity to the customer as well, and we can do that. There are lot many walkthroughs happened on this safe agile between the customers, within the customer face, from customer face they travel to offshore, and the transformation has been set, expectation has been set, and the clarity they've got it. And from other customers, how we are running safe agile, they will also visit us. So in that way we can explore it, so the better things will come into picture, so people also will be, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You have said all the points are covered, all the points. So very important is training and educating the people. Okay, we need to train them how it will work, because many of them they don't know what is agile or what is safe. Okay, what is the process involved, how we have to do it. Even your client, including your client, including your onshore PMO, POs, sorry, and we have to train them like how, what is the benefit of it. You have to educate them what will happen then, because most of the time they are scared. Okay, they are not open to even say that I don't understand. They'll just say I don't want in this. Okay, so you need to educate them, you need to train them, even to your team, before getting them into agile. Okay, there should be a one session of maybe 45 minutes, 1 hour, to train them like how it will work and what is the benefit of it. So once they understand the benefit, they will be definitely with you. And as is said, client involvement is very important. So today, I'll tell you, in my team, we make sure we have educated our PO in such a manner, and we have also escalated it at a times when there are no requirements, there is no backlog, activities are happening. Okay, so we have escalated to like overall engagement lead, that PO is not providing us n plus 2 backlog. Okay, so we are not saying, so let me, we are not in safe. Okay, so in safe the story is not the same. Okay, in safe they are much more ahead, but in waterfall to agile, so we are just transforming into agile scrum. So here we have requested, and here we have made sure that in every sprint there is a backlog grooming activity happening for the next upcoming sprints. So my business analyst, technical leader, and the I would say PO, so they are sitting together and they are talking about n plus 1 activities, and my onshore PO, okay, and BAs, they are creating a n plus 2. That means for next 1 month they should have their text tasks and activities in backlog. Okay, that way what will happen, what will ensure, over a period, maybe when you are in a, today we are in a fifth sprint. Okay, so maybe over a period when you develop, or when your team evolves, okay, evolve is the right word, evolves, they will be able to complete same activity which they did in sprint 1, they took 5 days, and in sprint 6 definitely for that activity they'll take 2 days. So their time will come down, they will be asking for more task, which is happening now in my case. And let me tell you, today also team, they live on time for their house home happily. Earlier they, this same team used to work for 10 hours, 12 hours, and now the team working hours has reduced. That means my backlog should be ready with n plus 2 activities. Suppose, for example, if some person says, okay, my task is over so and so because of whatever best practices they have followed, then what will I'll do? I'll take pick up some additional task from the backlog and I'll assign to my existing team. So what is happening end of the day? Your customer is with you. Okay, your backlog is well advanced. It is ready. Third thing, your team, people, they are happy end of the day, and they are able to deliver much more. And customer
Absolutely.
is also happy because they are getting more activities which they have not expected during sprint 1 2. In sprint 1 2, I got a feedback from client that your people doesn't understand functionality at all. And
That's really
today,
great.
Yeah.
So,
uh,
sorry
yeah,
to interrupt, Mangala. So,
yeah.
Syed, so after this call, you connect with Mangala and ask which company it is, and you join there, guys. Join there. Even also, Mangala, find out
Yeah.
if any position for me also. Hmm?
Mm.
Yeah, definitely. We all would love to join there.
Yeah.
So, Mangala, so
Yeah.
I want now that we saw that this agile methodology, what we call as methodology in our companies, is actually not implemented well or practiced well, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
So that is
You can
something that
suggest,
uh,
Suresh, you can
mm,
suggest customer, even if you have a single
correct.
team or, you know, so even if you have a single team, you can suggest it, which will
Mm,
create a value
mm,
for our company.
mm,
Okay. And so, safe agile, if you do that, so even if the other vendor or any other vendor is there, they have
mm,
multiple things. So if you suggest that, automatically the business will,
correct.
there is a
Grow.
opportunity of business growth as well. Uh,
Yeah.
so a larger, as a larger solution and
Mm,
portfolio solution,
mm.
the safe agile will have that benefit.
Correct. Yeah. What I heard from you, Mani, is you made the customer and even vendors also to bring the ownership, not just
Correct.
the team, you know,
Yeah.
or the management,
Mm.
Yeah,
doing that. Like entire team means it includes vendor, client, everybody, right? So they
yeah,
all collectively bring the ownership. So
Correct.
then that becomes easy for everybody to
Mm.
join hands and deliver this. And
Mm.
definitely it requires, educating the people around us. See, what happens is like people, they don't, I mean, all of us, right? Even client also, if you are a client, if you see that okay, there is much growth or much result is produced when we follow a methodology. Like initially, they will have some struggle, but over a period of time, when we show that result happening, right? So they don't mind, changing this mindset and all that. But initially, even client also, they will be concerned about, okay, what if I change this methodology, will that be any impact on my schedule deliverables and all that? But if we can give a confidence to the entire team that this is what will happen, and if you start producing the results, right, so nobody mind, changing to this mindset. So that's what I'm thinking. And since there is a challenge in that, then people mindset is, now let's go back to the waterfall model, or we will
no, a
take.
waterfall model is completely different.
Hmm,
The way had
yeah.
Suresh, and we are, I mean, safe agile is way ahead of
Yes.
the
Even Mani,
deliverables.
yesterday I went to this Cholamandalam, right? They said 50%, they are not using 100% agile methodology. 50,
Nobody.
50
Definitely.
nobody. So
Nobody uses.
50%,
Yeah.
nobody. So 50% I use this. We have customized, that is what they are saying, right?
Hybrid. Yeah.
Hybrid.
Yeah.
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 So the larger solution point of view, those who wants to get into a larger solution point of view, right? They can go ahead with a safe agile.
Yeah.
Mm,
So on the smaller projects, safe agile, that I mean, that's not overburden only.
mm,
We'll say, okay, from the customer
Mm.
side, everyone has to be changed to all those things.
mm,
But
mm,
for the so agile point of view, we can do it. As a delivery point of view, 2 weeks once, if we deliver it, we can
mm,
showcase something
mm,
to customer, right? We can showcase. So what are the things applicable? Minimum viability product we'll call, right? MVP. So we can showcase
Mm.
to them. We'll gain the confidence with them, customer with the customer, right? But those things will happen. But in order to achieve that, we need to have the clarity to develop, whatever the activity given with, right? So for not to develop that, we need to have a clarity. So that clarity, we have to seek it from customer only. So they should be in a position to provide it on time, clarity on time. Only then this agile approach will work out.
Correct. Correct.
If
Yeah.
they come back and say after 3 days or 4 days or a week time, then it will, I mean, developing and completing time will, which itself will take some time, some more time, and we cannot achieve that.
Sorry to interrupt. Mangala, what was the
Yeah.
project? I mean, what kind of project it was? Just wanted to check because I do predominantly work in
It's into
SAP environment.
banking domain we are into, and it is a AD project, customer application development.
Okay,
And we
application
had also
development.
done a we had
Hmm.
also done a cloud hosting for it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Nowadays, everybody is going with the cloud. So it was
Yeah.
like public cloud or private cloud?
Public,
Okay.
because it is not a project not specific to any client.
Hmm.
Okay, it is our IP. Okay, which we are
So
developing it. Yeah.
you guys
So
would only yes or pass or
yeah.
you guys took infrastructure as service or platform as a service or completely SaaS software as a service hosting in the cloud.
No, I would not say any of this because we are going to tie up. We have done a tie up with Amazon. Okay, and we are going to go as a vendor to the market, vendor as a service. Yeah.
Okay, but I
Mm.
mean, okay, then you probably everything you guys only built it from scratch, huh?
Yes. Yes.
But
Yes.
then you guys only have taken ES actually. Okay, I
Yeah.
understood that.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so now, sorry to, I mean, interrupt here. So now you
Mm.
have this approach, right? So why don't you tell us, like, how did you transform?
Yeah. So, and third important aspect,
Mm,
now we spoke about people, we spoke about training education. And
mm,
from this list, I would emphasize more in the interest of time is right
mm,
management project tool. Okay.
mm,
This is very, very essential because
mm,
many times people don't take this project tool as an important aspect.
mm,
Okay. They do whatever they want to do because they don't understand what is the vision, what is the approach they want to
mm,
take. While I would say if I want to have a Jira for my
mm,
project, then how to configure it, that
mm,
is a very important aspect because all projects are not same. Let me tell you,
mm,
some projects are in a maybe a flow model. Okay, so there is a workflow, and in the workflow sequence will go, because if one module is completed, then I am nowhere, I'm going to back to that module. Okay, workflow model. And some projects are like in a terms of functionalities.
mm,
So how to configure that Jira, that is very important. That is something we need to understand. So
mm,
based upon your project requirement, you have to understand how you have to configure the Jira.
mm,
Okay. After configuring Jira, how you will monitor on
mm,
daily basis. Because daily basis, I need to check whether people are going in and logging the Jira hours or not. Then
mm,
it has to be there as a, okay, like you are a business analyst or PO, they are writing the stories on it. Jira task is created after each sprint. Okay, sprint planning, dashboard creation is a very important activity
mm, mm,
because people generally drop that.
mm,
Okay, then how your stories, if they are getting spilled, maybe if they are not completed for some reason, then
Sorry to
how to
interrupt, Magla.
manage that?
Could
Yeah.
you please elaborate a little more because we many of us must have been through this kind of situation, right? So,
Yeah.
what you did to set up this, you said, right, Jira
Yeah.
configuration, and
Yeah.
what kind of, I mean, what we would like to know, like, what all of the scenarios you considered while configuring the Jira, and what you did, what are the challenges you faced during the
Okay.
Jira? How did you set up basically based upon the business requirement, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So in one of this project, I have a functionality in it. Okay, BT, because it is a core banking application. So I have to, maybe account opening is one of the functionality, or maybe transaction is one of the functionality, or maybe next would be something else. Okay. So based upon that functionality, my PO told that I want to see what is the percentage of amount work is completed. So she wanted to basically track the progress of the sprint basis of the functionality. So I made sure the Jira configuration is such a way that end of each sprint, I will be able to show her how much percentage of functionality has been completed. Okay, so in this way you have to effectively use the labels which are there. Then what is that component? Okay, label components, and even also you can create your own custom labels over there, functional fields over there. So you can create a functionality as one of the new field in your Jira. You can also create a module one or maybe a stream one, etc. So you have to design. You have to say that what exactly the way you want to track your project, that is the method you want to configure your Jira in that particular manner. Okay, then your logging of hours. Then when you're planning a dashboard, you have to make sure you have to be very shrewd at the times, like okay, Jira is closing tomorrow for this particular sprint, we are going to close the sprint, means it has to be closed. You cannot keep it overlapping, like okay, my sprint last end date was suppose yesterday. Okay, I think yesterday was some X date, maybe 18th. So on 18th, my sprint is going to end, means end. You cannot keep on going. This is the mistake which we do, and then we are not able to find out what is the estimated completion, what are the actual hours, etc. And how many people logged on daily basis. You should assign one person from your team, maybe a PMO, who will go and monitor whether people are filling their hours rightly or not. They are putting labels, whether it is you have to create a labels with respect to your sprint. So what we did, we created a sprint wise label. Components mean what we did use, we used SDLC names. Okay, coding, JUnit, then agile related activities, then maybe testing related activities, then if it is a performance, then performance related components we created. Okay, so that when we get a graph or maybe try to get a data, then we can actually see in particular functionality, in coding how much hours I have spent, in JUnit how much I have spent, in testing how much I have spent. Okay, so functionality wise, we are able to get picture like how much percentage of activity or how much percentage of time is been spent in this SDLC phase. Okay, that is here where you will understand whether what is going wrong in particular phase, if testing is getting delayed or maybe people are taking, or maybe a functional analysis is taking too much time. You will understand what is going wrong over there, and you can track it on weekly basis. Okay, then reports, very important. So you can use the existing Jira reports which are there. Okay, there is a velocity report is there, there's a sprint wise report is there. Okay, so if you go to Jira, you must be having all of you Jira or maybe any other tool. Try to see that this Jira or project management tool is being effectively used by your scrum master and your project manager. That will eventually help us. And let me tell you, in one of the project which we completed in last month, we had not never planned that we will be you consuming so much percentage of the budget or so much percentage of the time in particular activity. And we were surprised to see for 1000 man days project, we have actually spent 31% in development, 12% in testing, 11% in functionalities, agile rituals 6%, technical analysis 4%. So it was coming as per industry standard only, whatever we filled. And we never even thought like we will be doing this activity in some time of this like so as a curiosity, I just went and I tried to collect data and try to saw what is there. So it was very amazing. So maybe we can not wait for end of the project or end of I would say quarter one or something. You can go sprint wise also and analyze the data. So what is going wrong? Okay, so configuring Jira is very important aspect, and very important people filling it on daily basis. So in my daily system, so what we do, so initially when people were not used to fill, we used to literally open the card on the Scrum board, and we used to go and check what are the logged hours, what are the estimated hours. If it is increased, then why it was increased for each and everyone. And interesting point is that because people were still not following it in spite of opening that card. So what we did, we made scrum masters like the team itself. So I told scrum master, you will not be a scrum master anymore for next 2 weeks. Each member of the team, okay, they will act as a scrum master in the call. Okay, let them understand the pain, what we are going through it. So 2 weeks we made each team member as a scrum master and asked them to write a minutes of meeting. I know this was an additional activity for them, but later on doing this activity for 2 weeks, now we don't have to follow with anyone. Now people are matured enough, they understood what has to be done and they are doing without fail. They're filling it on time now regularly.
Yeah, that was really a great um, use case. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Any other question or should I move, because next points are very simple enough. I think we have covered many aspects in first 3 points. Okay.
Yeah, we
Then
can move. So one point I
yeah.
want to tell to all of you, including
Yeah.
it is including me also. So what I'm seeing from your presentation, Mangala, is see, there are problems in everywhere, right? In all the
Yeah.
companies what we work, right? So
Yeah.
the leadership team also, they know the problem and they are working out or finding out the solution, what to do and all that. But if you look at the people in our group, like Scrum Masters or senior Scrum Masters, program managers, senior program managers, right? If we take the ownership in implementing this agile methodology in the way it has to be meant, right? In
Yeah.
educating the people and providing more values to the client, and up definitely we will be in a commanding position
Yeah.
in our company where we work, or even if we are getting into the bench or not, project is completing, right? So we will always create a want, like when we go to the next company, we will be so much confident that this is what we have done so far in our company, and which company will not pay 100% salary increment, right? So that's what I want to tell everyone, like not um, what I'm saying is not applying the whatever that is there, we are going through that, right? Instead of that, if we take a control of, okay, what is happening in our projects, so why not we do this today, like educate the team members and start slowly, right? So then our visibility will be much more higher. Yeah, go ahead, Mangala.
Yeah, exactly. And I would say clear objective, as we all discuss, like even one of you also mentioned, like client has to be like participating in it. Okay. So that is very important, very, very important key aspect, because even today in any of the project, any of the activities we work, we always like we saw on the first slide, right? When we spoke about project closure, we were talking about ourselves only, always. Okay. So we have to always broaden our vision. Okay. We are doing project for client, remember. So for every activity, client is part of it. Think from that objective. Okay. Then you will identify all the answers. You will able to get most of the answers over there. So if sprint backlog is not there, then that is not my problem, boss. It is a problem of client. You have to make him responsible for it. If they are saying I am not, I am busy, I don't have time, then tell them this project is also theirs, not mine. Okay, get their buy-in and tell them, if you want to really make this project successful, you have to give at least 1 hour in a day. Get up early. So my PO, no, she literally log in at 6:30 from her. She's from onshore, so initially she used to start her day at 8 o'clock. Now she told, because you have highlighted me in front of the account lead, etc. So now I don't know. It is my responsibility. I will put my time in this project. She starts her day a little early, 1.5 early, and she literally connects with it and her sprint backlog, etc. She is participating actively in it. Okay. Next is regular. So one very important.
So in that
Okay,
case, Mangala,
retrospective. Yeah.
there will be no escalation from the client.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, because they are part of it. Huh.
Okay.
Correct. Huh. Because till now, what we are thinking, oh my God, we have to follow them. No, we are not followers. We are contributors. This is the change of shift we have to get in ourselves.
Exactly.
Okay. And Santosh, please go to one slide behind. Okay. Behind. Yeah. So we are going to talk on this slide only today. Okay. Then very important is that after every sprint, okay, try to get feedback from the team. Okay. This is very important activity. Okay. Next is clear role definition. So what happens many a time when your junior team member enters, okay, or a senior team member enters, new team members enter. Okay. Nobody knows who is who, and people eventually may think that okay, this is not my role, okay, that is not my role. So call out clearly who is a technical leader, who is a PO, like whatever roles are there, who is a translator. We had a translator in our team, and after 6 months when I told my one of the junior team member, okay, go and get it, she's telling where is the translator, we don't have any. It was something surprising for me. Okay, because we had a translator and she joined 6 months back, and she is not aware that there is a existing translator in project. So clear role, okay, who has to be communicated to the team. Then last second last and I would say third last points are very very extremely important. Okay, definition of ready and definition of done. So definition of ready will ensure that if you have a list of items with you, you have to make sure that checklist is ticked. Okay, when you are starting your sprint, if none of the items are incomplete or they are not there, then you should not start the sprint. For example, maybe functional analysis is ready for this sprint. Okay, then maybe second would be maybe environment availability. Okay, coding checklist. Okay, clear if there is a new architecture, then new architecture related documentation. If technical analysis document has to be coming from architect team, then it has to be there. So call out basis on your project requirement what has to be there in order to start my work. Okay, that list you guys have to talk to your team and make a list. It can be a 5 items in it, or it can be 15 items also in it. So call it out every beginning of a sprint. Make sure you check this definition of ready is there. So as I said, like we want to cook something. Okay, then if unless and until entire ingredients are not there, you are not going to start, right? You will not cook anything. Similarly over here. Okay, then the definition of done. So this is very important. Okay, why definition of done is important? When you are saying okay, my work is done, some of the people say okay, my this task is over. So you have to educate the team, what do you mean by definition of done? Okay, so for example, if there is a Java developer, there is a piece of task has been assigned to him or her, so they have developed it, but we have to also ensure that it is in compliant with the code quality which is required for the project. JUnit should be completed. So these are the small things which we need to ensure that it is in place when you are going to, because after each sprint we are going to deliver this particular piece or to client. Okay, so then we have to ensure that from quality perspective, from JUnit perspective, okay, like from integration of entire pieces perspective, it has to be complete. It cannot be just okay, my development is done. So this is something really you guys need to sit together in your team and identify what do you mean by definition of done. In my case, I'll tell you, I ensure that the Sonar lint is been installed at every developer's machine. And in Sonar, if they are running a Sonar report at the end of the sprint, blockers 0, critical bugs 0, major 0, minor only 2 are allowed, not more than that. Then you just see if we have strictly follow this kind of a code quality check, then when it goes to client and if client runs any kind of a software who will check the code quality, they'll not find anything or hardly something. And also I would like to share over here, so in one of the project when we followed this scrum long back, so we have got OTS, that is in our company we call it OTS, but it is a customer satisfaction. Okay, we have got out of 5 4.83, because they were extremely happy with our code when they have run a cast. Okay, we have got 4 out of 3, 3 point something. So they were literally surprised, like how come you are able to give us a very good code quality, etc. etc. What are you because from day one of sprint you are giving us a consistent code quality, which is very important. Otherwise, what happens if you are not doing this code quality check and you are just completing the project and you are giving it to handing over to client, then a new project will start to fix the code quality related works, and which will be more bigger than the what actual work you have done so far. So as I said, when we are thinking about project planning, project initiation, project closure, so in all phases, your client should be part of that. You think from that angle. Okay. And last would be effective communication plan. So you guys have to sit okay together before starting any sprint, or maybe you are starting your agile journey. You have to call out a clear communication plan, like how many weekly meetings I will have, how many technical meetings I will have, how many DSTMs I will have. Okay, what is the time of particular meeting? It should not overrun. Any meeting should not run beyond particular time, because then actually then it will be impacting your sprint for sure. Okay, how many governance call you want, how many operational call you want. So all this communication plan has to be drafted first, and who are the participants in it, that has to be clearly call out. Because all of a sudden if somebody is keeping a call and they're saying okay, you also join, you also join, you also join, so just see if that call goes for 1 hour, then if 4 people are there, then 4 hours are, I mean, lost for the project, not 1 hour,
Yeah,
because four
Mangala,
people are involved.
sorry to interrupt. Just out of
Yeah.
curiosity, just wanted to understand whether this definition of ready and definition of done,
Mm.
you
Yeah.
finalize these things along with the customer or within your internal team?
See, first what we did, we prepare our own delivery model. Okay, that model had all these elements into it. Okay, so once this draft has been prepared for this delivery model, we do discuss with client as well that okay, we will be following this delivery model. We will be having a clear RASI metrics also included in it. We did discuss this. We prepared it a draft first at our own end, then we made client to go through it. So it was agreed between both the parties.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Okay, and just to add 2 3 elements to this, sorry, but I'm taking too much time on this slide, because this slide is the one how it will make your agile approach work. Okay, and to encourage team, to motivate team, we also call out star of the sprint. Okay, this is something not there in any syllabus. Okay, so we identify a person who has performed very well in the sprint. Okay, and we do call out them as a star of the sprint, so that people actually get motivated and they do more for the team. Second thing is that we do also keep on monthly basis online games. Okay, so that other than work, we should also try to interact with team. Okay, and some DSTMs call, what we do, we generally casually talk with them. Okay, how was their weekend, how was their long weekend. Okay, in entire 1 month, some DSTMs are there, like one DSTM is there, we don't talk about project, we talk about people. Okay, that actually elevates their mood and their willingness to work in a project. So remember I told you one example, the girl was very upset and she told I'm not going to work over here in the project, etc. So today in last sprint she was the star of the sprint. The same girl who was not able to perform in first two sprints, in fifth sprint she is the star of a sprint, and she has done a lot more activities, because she is feeling that she is part of the team now. Okay, I think last 5 minutes are there, and I think we can go to last slide of today's session. And I think we all are aware like what are the benefits. Okay, superior quality product, as we said, like we are including code quality checks, etc. Better control because we have a Jira in place. Okay, reduce risk because daily we are connecting with customer, so risks are reduced. Then continuous improvement. Okay, we have many you can say connects with customers, because customer is now part of your game. Okay, so there will be a reduced risk and more relevant metrics, because Jira is there. Definitely based upon Jira reports, we can try to get more reporting from it. Customer satisfaction, so as I told you, in one of the project I got a customer satisfaction out of 5 4.83. Okay, improved improved project like how exactly I have to do my project. Okay, what is the vision? So when you connect with client on day to day basis, keep them informed, try to get an update what is going to come, etc. Then you will get more more future advanced vision of the project. Then because we are trying to evolve daily, okay, based upon each problems which we discuss, maybe in retrospective, maybe in this term, we are able to be more flexible. Okay, and we are trying to evolve our team and elevate our team. Okay, and last, very important, I would say, not last but eighth one, improved team morale, which is very very important. Okay, so I think we have covered almost all the points with question answers, I guess.
Yeah, so this is really awesome, Mangala. So thank you very much for your preparation on preparing this deck and presenting it here. And I know what it would have taken a lot of efforts from your side. I really appreciate that, Mangala. And also for all of you who have joined this call, like I hope this session would be valuable for you. And if you have any questions, you can ask that now. We have 3 minutes left. And what I'm hearing from what you said, Mangala, is we have the agile methodology in place, right? So now, more than that, what is important is implementing that, like ongoingly following that methodology, and um, the benefits, whatever you mentioned here, no, it will come only when we apply it properly. Like whoever is doing that in the leadership role or in the Scrum Master or Agile coach, whoever is taking in hand, right? So he or she has to apply it in a way, then we can see that benefits coming out, right? Otherwise, it will become a knowledge and nothing is going to be useful.
Correct.
Right. So, any questions from anybody? 2 minutes we have.
Mangala, Guna here.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, it's amazing session, Mangala. So I got present many of my experiences. You said no that every sprint we can ask one Scrum Master as one person as a Scrum Master, right?
Yeah.
Really, that is a good initiative. Really, it's excellent approach. But my question is, consider one Scrum Master is there. So that guy, I don't think he will do mainly for development or technical activity.
No. Scrum Master will play a Scrum Master role. This is why, because we want the team to understand what is the seriousness of all this activity or all the questions which we are asking. Is your task, have you logged the gyras on time? Why your gyra? So unwanted time which we are spending in checking whether people are logging hours in gyra or not, whether the task is getting completed, if they have any questions, whether they have asked it not, what are the blockers people should ask. So
No,
unless
I
and until
understand. So no, okay. Like correct me if my understanding is correct or not. See, so in addition to Scrum Master, other people also play acting as a Scrum Master to take the
so
role.
in one of the sprint you can allow them to do this.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the
That's
sprint, or
no. I'm looking
maybe
at the
every
implementation point of view. How you implement it. That's what I'm interested.
yeah, or maybe every once in a week you can tell, okay, now Scrum Master is not going to play Scrum Master role, we want somebody else to take up this activity. So every week there will be, on each Monday we will have new Scrum Master who will take the status.
Okay,
in the
then what
desktop.
that Scrum Master will do in that case?
No, he'll guide them what they have to,
Okay.
because communication is very important. People don't know how to talk also, let me tell you.
Okay, got it.
I'll tell
Thank
you,
you so much.
because we are from India, right? Our culture is that people hesitate to speak out what are their issues, problems. Okay. So this way they will get more confidence.
Great, Mangala. Thank you so much for this amazing, amazing
Thank
session.
you.
Really awesome. Yeah, go ahead. I'm done with my question.
Good, Mangala. So very good session you took, Mangala. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Mangala
Thank you
is
so much,
the
all.
star contributor of this week, Mangala.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Agility World, no? Current Spot Award.
Yeah. Spot award. Okay.
Okay, so now it's time 10
Yeah.
1. We will wind up with this, and if you have any questions on this, we will continue to answer that. And please reach out to me or Mangala to get that answers, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Suresh. You can
Thank
post
Thank
the
you all.
recording link, Suresh.
Suresh, I'll call you back, Suresh. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Suresh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you all for
Thank
your
you. Bye bye.
patience.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks, Mangala.
Santosh.
Thanks,
Thank
Thank
you.
everyone.
you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Have a great day.
Bye. You too.